Last time on Vintage Story, we finally moved to a new location, but before that, we had to do a ton of grinding for resources and last minute preparation for winter. After we got everything sorted, we got straight to the build and made something that I'm proud to live in, and that leaves us here. And welcome back. So guys, I have some stuff to show you. I got a little bit excited with this build, and if we hop down here, oh god, I fell too far, but no damage. But anyway, I did a little bit of work on this base since we last spoke, and by that I mean I added some windows, and I'm super excited to show you them. Now you guys know how much I hate messing with the glass, just because I simply cannot see it. See, I'm so close to it and I can just barely see it. Anyway, we got these great big windows back here, and I think that they just look so cool. They're nothing too special, but they're big and they're open, and they face out towards the water. Also, I went and added some light to this room. Hold on, we must defend. They're breaking in. Okay, close the door. So yeah, I had some extra candles, I threw them down, some torch holders, and yeah, it's still pretty dark in here and we need some lanterns. So if we come upstairs, we have a chest room. I moved everything that was in the field over there into here. I threw the vessels, the clay ovens, the tables so I could make like pies and stuff. And this is pretty much everything that we moved over. And almost every single one of these chests are completely filled up. I think we have like this much inventory left right now with an extra chest. Also, I think I have a chest downstairs, which I threw at the front door. That way we could use as a quick dump chest. So I also did do a big window here. You guys could see that when I was sitting out on the railing. And I think that looks pretty cool. Nothing too special, but I think it just adds a little bit to it. And we'll let the sunlight come in. And unfortunately, I didn't stop there. My creative juices were going and I had to do something about it. I did move our anvil up here. And this is our little smithy station. There's basically all the tools that I brought over. We got 2 of the forges here. We got some nice vertical racks for molds, which I had to go and make a whole bunch again. These are all of our nails molds. We got 2 extra small chests here. A whole bunch of shelves to hold all of our metal as long as that lasts, because we'll fill it up quite quickly. Our cooking pots are up here for now. I didn't have anywhere else to put it, so that's where they are. And yeah, I think that this is pretty cool. I just extended the balcony by 2 blocks. And it's really simple with the build that I have going on. It just required a tiny bit of work to do. And this is so cool. I love this little smithy area. It overlooks the water. So when I'm sitting here hammering things out, I'm going to be able to see everything over there. And yeah, I'm super happy with it. I can't wait to have this entire coastline filled up with stuff. It's just going to be so cool. And I must say, I am super happy with this space. I think it's already turning out pretty awesome. And honestly, I think that this is a pretty big upgrade for us. And remember, this is meant to be our starter home for this location. We're going to be doing much bigger, much better outside of here. By the way, one of you had a really cool idea that I liked. I showed off the area over there and kind of said what I wanted to do at the time. But you guys had a really cool idea of making that like the last stand area. Something like Helm's Deep. That just sounds so cool. Imagine having like a giant wall from like there to one of the mountains over there, have it super fortified, and I had to tell you guys about that idea. And by the way, I really do appreciate how you guys are so hyped for this build and how many ideas that you have given me. That has been quite nice, so thank you. So one of the small problems that we have is that we're kind of out of food here. Well, I have some flour back in the house so we can make bread, but all of my food is at the old base and I didn't bring it over and I should have. And our boat is kind of submerged right now. So what I was thinking I could do is I could break some of this. By the way, a lot of my steel is also at the old base. And I definitely left some plants over there that are definitely dead now. But okay, we're going to sit here and we're going to try to break out a path. Luckily, it is ice, so it should be easy. Even though it seems to be self-healing. We're going to do what we can and we're just going to clear out a path for the boat. Okay, surely that'll do. That's a pretty big area. Can I fit it through it too wide? I'm starting to think the answer is no. But we got it this far. We just got to remove a little bit more. Then we're going to have to make the journey back to the house and do this very quickly. Because this is definitely refreezing up. And you got to remember, wherever I park it at, the other base is also going to freeze. Okay, surely this will do. Get back in. Go. Go. Before it freezes back. We're doing it. We're back on the open water. So anyway, guys, I'm going to head back to the old base. And I'll see you there. Okay, so bad news. I'm right about to start starving, and we still got some ways to go. Luckily, it's not all that bad. The map takes so long to load in now. I gotta get from here to here without any food. I'm wondering if I can do it. And I guess we'll find out together. Oh, there we go. It's starting. We're almost there. Luckily, we don't starve as quick as I thought we would. So it hasn't been all that bad. But we're gonna get off, and I fell into the water. So now I shall also freeze. It's fine. I'm gonna run directly back to the outpost. We should have plenty of food over there. I'm gonna starve my way over. Hopefully nothing gets me on the way there. And I'll see you there. Let me in. Oh, it feels so nice to be back. It's been such a long time. By the way, it was flax. Okay. I know I might be starving, but this is important, okay? We need the flax. I can't believe I left this behind. Luckily, we're still getting a decent bit, and even the ones that fully died still give me the seeds back. So it's not a complete loss. However, yeah, that sucks. And the old pumpkins, which I shall just break. Do I get seeds from them? Maybe I should leave them and then next year they'll continue maybe? Well, I destroyed some. We'll leave some as well. Anyway, we're back. Let's go ahead and get some food. We got a pie. And it's starting to mold. Okay, it's fine. I'll grab a crock. And I need a bowl. Please tell me I have a bowl somewhere. Okay, 2 in here. Let's eat. Finally, we're alive. Anyway, we got a decent bit of flax to work with. Some nice grains. A bunch of flax seeds, which we'll bring home as well. So it was really good that we did come back. And I guess what I shall do is I shall just grab every single one of these crocks. I know I wanted to wait until we had a cellar, but yeah, we really need this food. I also have a ton of vegetables in here, plus a ton of flour. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and grab that flour. And I think that this should be good for the first trip. However, we will go to bed and we'll deal with that in the morning. So see you then. And we're up. So I'm gonna bring all this back to the boat. Then I'm gonna do a couple more trips here. I also gotta go ahead and get this steel, which it's still red. Look at that. Why? I guess it might just always look like that when it's done. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, just grab some things that were left behind because I might as well. And I'm gonna take some time to fill up the ship again. So I'll let you guys know when I'm done and I'll show you what I'm bringing. Okay, so good news. We are done here. I filled up pretty much every single one of these. I made sure to grab all my food, all the crocks, and a whole bunch of random stuff that I needed. However, the boat doesn't seem to be moving. Oh, I see. I need to actually be in the driver's seat. Yeah, that might help. Anyway, I'm gonna head back to the base, and this should be our last trip back here for quite a while. At least I think so anyway. And we've made it back. Dude, the base looks so cool from here. Everything else is just so dark, but then we have the base lit up. Either way, we need to park up here. However, I cannot see. I think our boat was originally parked right here, and it hasn't frozen up yet, so that's perfect. So I guess we shall park like right here. I'm definitely gonna hop in this water. No, never mind. We're all good. And yeah, I'm gonna get to emptying out my inventory, guys. I need to get everything from my boat into the house. So I'll be right back. And there we go. So yeah, I did go ahead and move most of my stuff. I even put the food out here. I realized we don't need a cellar as long as it's winter. These are gonna last for 4.2 years, and that gives us some time to go and make a proper cellar, which I'm hoping to get done today, but we shall see. Either way, everything at the boat is now up here, and I think we're finally set to call this place a home. But now we gotta do a lot more to this place, make it actually suitable for us to live in. This whole freezing problem seems to be an issue. To be fair, it is -2F outside, and I definitely think that this is not considered as a room. I was gonna type in the command to see if this was in fact a room, but I forgot that my status HUD already does that. As you can see right by my offhand, there's a little picture of a house, which means that this is in fact a room. And then once we go down here, and it definitely is not. I'd have to wall off both of these sections for that, which it might be worth doing just to make it a little bit warmer in there, but we'll worry about that later. For now, we got this room, and it should be plenty of space for us. And we're just gonna make a small fire over here, and we can use it to warm up from time to time. Oh yeah, much better. So yeah, you can see that was a little bit cold. Nothing too bad, okay? But yeah, I think that this is a good reason to stay inside for now and get a little bit of work on the base done. I'm not gonna worry too much about this room. I mean, I obviously want to do some stuff to it, but this is basically meant to just be our little chest room here, and I'm not in a rush to work on it that much. However, down here, I want to get a kitchen up. I want to get a stairway down to the cellar up. I want to get a cellar up. Either way, I want a platform here with some stairs that go up, and then we can access that door right there. I think it would be cool to do the same thing for this balcony, We have one on that side as well. Then I guess this is kind of our chill area. It can be our living room. Something like that. Unless I need something else and need the room. So yeah, I'm gonna get to work. I'm gonna do a small montage of me furnishing this place and finally making it feel like a real home. So wish me luck. I'm gonna get to work. And welcome back. So I had to stop myself. We got a lot done, and I'm pretty happy with this so far. As you can see, we do have a fully functional kitchen with a nice fireplace so we can do our cooking in here. And I can always come up to it once I'm cold. I also went ahead and got us some barrels. I like to have 3 in my kitchen at all times, mostly for making leather. That's where I'd like to make it. I also have this right here, which holds a bunch of water. That way we have an unlimited water source, and I don't even have to worry about it. Now, I also did go ahead and make some counters and cabinets, and the cool thing about it is that they are actually chests. This right here is a decorative chest, and it still allows us to use it as a chest, but leave a chisel block where it is, so I think it looks a lot better. This one is also one, and the counters right here are actually tables, so I can go ahead and make pies on them. I think that's just awesome. Can I place this bowl on top of this? Yeah, I didn't think so. That's fine. But yeah, we have our storage up there, and I even have some tool racks. So on the sides of the door, you notice that I have a ton of crates. This is going to be one of the things I do to try to help with my storage and whatnot. I have some more over there as well. But these right here, or at least some of them, will be used for flour. And then I can do a ton of bread stuff in here. But I didn't place my ovens in here. I suppose I could put it right here if I ever needed it. But for now, I think they're fine, and they're upstairs if we need them. Other than that, I did the roof stuff, and I made it look so much better. And I really like this little balcony area. I think it's going to be super cool, and I want to place a rug down here. I think it could start right here at the front door, then come out and end like right here. I think we will end up doing that at some point. And I do got to mention the floor, because I'm sure you guys are looking at it going, what is that? It's a trapdoor. Or at least a lot of them. Yeah, I figured out if I place a trapdoor upside down, you get the bottom of it, and it's honestly amazing. It reminds me of spruce. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this place. I think it's cool. I think that this could use a little bit more work, but for now it does just fine, and it allows us to go upstairs. One small issue is I don't like the placement of it up here, and we do gotta hop over to the door to the outside, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is, and I'll leave it for now. Plus, like I always said, this room in particular doesn't need to look super nice. This room is purely for function, and right now it's doing exactly that. By the way, I was thinking about another floor up there. You can see the balcony doors, and I feel like I need to access that at some point. What I could do is I could just bring this staircase all the way up there and have another floor up there, and that could be our bedroom, which I think is exactly what we're gonna do. But for now, we're just gonna leave it be. So anyway, the next thing that I was gonna do was add the staircase here and make it go to our new cellar. Well, to be fully honest, I was gonna do the staircase over here and then have the kitchen over here. But what I realized is that this is on this side right here. And I think it would be so cool to have the staircase that goes all the way down into this hill right here. And the reason for that is this is the hill that it would be in. And I think it would be super cool to have like a big storehouse right here. And then we can access it from this level as well, which will be the dock. And it would be really good if we need to ever depot stuff into our food storage. It would be right here. And we will always be able to access it from the house. I feel like that would be super cool. And I didn't want to go ahead and just start working on that big project without talking about it a little bit. So yeah, expect that. That is going to be our cellar. Luckily, it is winter, so I'm not in that big of a rush, but it needs to get done before next spring, so we have plenty of time. But while doing all that, I realized that this place is pretty dark. Well, right now it's actually kind of fine, but yeah, we need more light sources, which means that we need to go get some copper. That way we can make some lanterns. Luckily, I do have my prospecting pick, and I figured we could take it out and do some prospecting around here, because I've done 0 of that here, and I'm super curious to see what's going to be out here. There's like 4 biomes over here. I feel like I should do some in each of them. They might be holding something good in there. And yeah, I just want to find out what's here. I really want to find some sulfur. That way we can start working on some new backpacks. I'm finally ready. It's like the last piece of the gear that we need. So anyway, I'm just going to sleep until morning, and I'll see you then. And we're up. Okay, downstairs we go, because I left my bowl here, so let's pick it up. Then we'll take 2 crocs for the road. And by the way, one of my favorite things about this base is that I can walk around on the roofs. I can use it to get around speedily. That is probably the thing that I missed the most about our old castle. Just being able to run around on top was so nice. Luckily, I get a little bit of that in this build. So anyway, I'm going to get to prospecting. I don't know how much I'm going to do because it is cold out, but I'm going to try to get some done and get an idea of what we have over here. So I'm going to get to work, and I'll see you in a minute. And that'll do for now. So I have done a ton of prospecting, and yeah, it's getting quite cold out. However, we have a ton to work with here, and it's been about a day. However, I know just about everything that's over here. And by the way, this little biome spot over here was kind of bad. It does have tin though, even though we have no need for it. But luckily, what I did find over here is ultra high native copper and decent iron. And luckily, pretty much all these green spots right here is all copper. So that means that there has to be a ton over there. And unlike the surface copper, those veins can get mega. And I suspect that that area over there are going to be the source for our lanterns for a while. So anyway, give me a minute. I'm going to head over there and we're just going to go dig around and see if I can find any. But I have a good feeling that we're going to have no trouble whatsoever. And it's practically going to be an infinite supply of copper. But also, I do have one bad thing to report. Unfortunately, there was no sulfur, so yeah, we're not getting any closer to the bags. By the way, there was a bear around here. It started to chase me and I ran off. He could be anywhere right now and I'm kind of on edge because of it. But here we are. We're just gonna dig down and see if we can find some copper. I don't have too many ladders, so we might have to come back at a different day. It is getting a bit dark out. Okay, so I went pretty deep here. I don't even know if I can get out. But yeah, we did not strike any copper whatsoever, which is very unfortunate. But we'll just come back in the morning and we'll be able to grab a ton. But there we go. The last ladder was exactly how many I needed. And we're just going to head back to the base. And we're back. Close that. And we can head inside. Our fire's gone out. But a little bit of cold can't hurt, right? Close the door because that might help. And we will make a ton of ladders real quick. About 3 stacks should do. So let's hop in bed and I'll see you in the morning. And we're up. Okay, we're just going to hop off the balcony. That seems like a really bad idea. Hold on, we can do it over here. We just got to hop off the roof onto or next to the railing. And even though it's dark out, we're just going to head out and I'll meet you by the copper. And we're back. So let's head back down and we're going to continue to dig. Hopefully we find something pretty soon and a lot of it. Oh, there we go. Medium quality copper ore. So I'm going to try out something I haven't done in a while. And I'm going to try to turn this into a time lapse. I normally don't like to do this with most of the ore. Usually it's not bunched up in a giant circle. Iron usually is, so it's not as bad. But copper is kind of tricky. I set up the camera and then the entire vein just shifts somewhere where it's not looking. But if I'm correct, there should be a ton here. So perhaps I can get a time lapse of it. So give me a second. I'll see what I can do. And welcome back. So I broke my pick, and we still pretty much have a full vein here. This is the third one, by the way. I just kept digging down every time I needed to, and there was guaranteed to be another one every single time. But yeah, I did go ahead and get a ton of copper, and we're just gonna get out of here. Anyway, I'll see you there. And we're back. So let's go upstairs real quick. We need to go ahead and grab some crucibles. We'll break up the copper. And yeah, we have like 7,000 units. So let's drop a crucible down. We'll throw some charcoal in. However, it does seem to be almost out. That's kind of an issue. I do think that I still have some back at the old base inside of our charcoal pit. I think that there's like a full batch in there, although I don't think that's exactly worth it. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna let this heat up. We'll get it poured into some molds. Then I'll go ahead and make a pickaxe. Then I'm gonna have to dig out some sort of pit over here. I don't plan on making a permanent one quite yet, but yeah, we definitely need a charcoal pit as we're pretty much out and it's really important for us. Oh, something I just realized is I can't place the ingots here. That is such a pain. Too bad I can't put it under it either. Honestly, that would have been insane and something I could possibly do in the future. I have a bunch of molds just stored under the floor. Like if I got rid of this dirt right here. But yeah, if I just destroyed one block like that, we could go ahead and put our molds under the floor. And honestly, we might end up doing that at some point. But not today. I guess our molds really do gotta go upstairs for now. And there we go. It's all heated up. So let's pick it up. Grab the coal because we desperately need it. And we'll go upstairs to where I put the molds. And we're gonna get pouring. Hopefully it doesn't rain or anything. That would be such a shame. We'll have to find out a more permanent solution for this. I definitely plan on having some sort of blacksmithy at some point. So an entire building dedicated to this. We can still keep this up here, but it would mainly be to be decorative or just for small uses while I'm up here. But there we go. It should all be poured in. And that one right there. Oh my. Yep, I screwed up an entire ingot. Too bad I can't like suck it back up. Or if I could just pick it up and then pour it back into the right one, that'd be kind of neat. And while that's doing that, we're gonna grab some of my steel over here. And I'll grab 3 to make the most out of this coal. Gonna get this lit. Then I'm gonna go ahead and make myself a pickaxe, a shovel, and a regular axe. And hopefully that can all last me until I get a little bit more charcoal. I think it should be able to. As when it becomes morning, we're gonna head out and we're gonna cut down a ton of trees. That way we can make a little charcoal pit out front, then really start to do some metalworking. I think I have like 7 candles downstairs. Plus, I went ahead and got a ton of wax. It's actually in this box right here. I had a ton of charcoal in here. Well, not a ton, but yeah, 32 will be nice. That's a lot better than what we had. And things are a little bit less dire right now, but we definitely still need more. But yeah, I have some honeycombs here, and we'll start to turn that into candles as well. And possibly we can get enough lanterns to keep this place entirely lit up. Plus, I want to do the little ring around here. I think that because I set it up like this, if I were to completely light up this area, I think that this would be a safe zone. So I think that's going to be awesome. Eventually, I want this entire place to be safe, but if I could do like one zone at a time, that'd be awesome. But anyway, our metal is heated up, so let's pick it up, and I'm gonna make some tools. So let's get a pickaxe made. There we go. Grab another. Place. We'll turn this one into an axe. And there we go. Now let's pick up the last. Place. And let's make a shovel. And there we go. That should be a set of tools for us, and I won't have to worry about them for a little bit, and should at least get me through one charcoal pit, and hopefully the copper over there. Then I'm gonna have to worry about setting up a steel furnace and stuff around here. We should probably get that down pretty soon. It doesn't need to be permanent either, but it needs to be functional, and we can move it whenever. By the way, look at this. I saw that glowing off in the distance. I think that's a tractor. One of the better traders has it. I think that's kind of neat that we can kind of see it from here. If it was just slightly up, we'd think it was a star. But no, that's definitely a trader. But anyway, let's go back inside and we're just gonna head to bed. So see you in the morning. And we're up. Plus I'm starving. So let's get something to eat. And that'll do. Let's put together our tools. Now I can actually do some stuff. Like right now, we're gonna go back to our kitchen. Place one of the empty crocks. I need to keep up with that. That way we don't lose them all. And oh yay, we have a portal exactly where I was going to set up my charcoal pit. Perfect. Anyway, we're going to head over here. There's a whole bunch of trees over there, and it's not so close to the base where I'm going to worry about deforesting it all. If anything, we need to add more trees. Plus, there's a ton of these giant trees out here. Look how beefy that thing is. That's going to be like a charcoal pit on its own. And it's guarded by wolves. That's how you know it's good. Come on. Get out of here, wolf. It's my tree. It's mine. Come back. Ah, yeah, he's too fast. What is this? Oh, a dead hen. Wow, he's a monster. Anyway, let's cut down this tree. That way we can get some firewood ready. There's the big tree. And yep, it certainly broke my last axe. That's why we made another. And there we go. That should be about most of it. And that was nearly 4 stacks. That's actually kind of nuts. We need more trees like that. But also, this did remind me, we need to go ahead and set up the big tree again. If you saw the last series, you know what I mean. And I'm being chased by the same wolf again. Okay, now he's dead. But yeah, we need to get a big tree up. I don't have to worry about that until spring. But that will be one of our first goals. And will be insanely nice. Anyway, I don't see any more of those big trees around. So yeah, we're gonna have to go and find some smaller oak trees. Not a big deal. I wish more of them came like that. This seems like another pretty decent sized tree. Or multiple of them. So we're gonna cut them down. Okay, I think that will have to do for now. I'd say that we got plenty of logs here and should easily fill up a charcoal pit. So let's head back. And we're back. So I'm going to quickly just light up this area over here. It does seem like that portal has disappeared. So we're going to make sure that nothing spawns here and we can work on it before we go to bed. I'd like to get all this laid down. That way when we sleep, most of it will finish by then. So we're just going to do a small one for now. I think like a 5x5 would be great. And there we go. So anyway, let's get this filled. And we're back. So yeah, it doesn't look like much, but that is a full charcoal pit and should be more than enough. So we're gonna let that be for a little while. And we're just gonna head upstairs and let's go to bed. And we're up. Gotta get myself some more food. Been doing a lot of hard work lately, which means I'm gonna be hungrier than usual. So yeah, guys, I'm going to harvest this once it's ready. Then I'm going to get to smithing. I'm going to turn all the ingots that we got directly into plates. And I might as well cook up some more ingots while I'm at it. So yeah, I'm going to get to work and I'll see you in a minute. And welcome back. So yeah, I went a little bit overboard. We have so many copper plates now, and I hope you guys like that montage. I know that you guys were asking for a little bit more of them, and hopefully it's all working out. So anyway, we do have some extra ingots here. I think I'm just gonna leave them there, and maybe one day I'll need them. This right here should be 24 lanterns, and I think that'll last me for quite a while as well. Plus, I went ahead and made a ton of nails and strips. So yeah, we're gonna have plenty of chests. So right now I am gonna grab our honey, and we're gonna go down to our kitchen, get a fire lit because I am freezing, and I definitely need some food as well. So we'll get something to eat. Then I gotta squeeze all the honeycombs. That way we can get the wax out of them. And with that, we should be able to make a bunch of candles and add it to the candles that we already have. And hopefully we can get this base lit up. And also I want to get the outside of it as well. Make a little safe area for us to work in. And I feel like this is going to be perfect because most of the builds that we're going to do are going to go exactly the same way that it went this time. And we're going to make little zones for them to be in. And we'll light it up every single time. And it'll make lighting up the area a lot more manageable. Or at least that's what I think anyway. But there we go. I do need to sacrifice one of these. I guess any of them will do. We can place it in there. And you know what? We'll even get a second one. So we'll place it there. And we're going to start making some candles. So there's 6 and there's 5. 11 should do. Plus we have like 6 or 7 here. So we're going to be able to throw up like 18 lanterns right away. We just got to wait for this first. And there we go. Our first batch is done. And so is our second. So there we go. 18 whole candles. Which reminds me, we also need to get a bee farm up and going. I think I'm going to do another one of these again. Maybe I'll do it like right in front of our base and have it just specifically for bees. I also do need to do some greenhouse stuff, but I'm not going to worry about that until the end of next year, which I believe is going to come pretty soon. Time has been flying since we moved. Anyway, let's grab all of our copper plates. That's a whole 24, and we're going to throw together some lanterns. So there's 8 and there's 18. We can just leave the rest behind, and now we get to throw up some of these lanterns. So we got one here already. But I'm going to do it on each of these sides like that. I can go ahead and take that one. I can leave one right here. And one right here. Plus, we should probably have one like right here. Now I think everything is properly lit up. And nothing should be spawning on this top floor. So we're going to go inside here. Just have a look around and it seems fine. But we come down here. And I actually can't even see if they can spawn or not on these. I wonder if they can at all. It's possible that they can't. Now, another idea that I had is I think that light will go through these. I could be completely wrong about it. But what if I place one right here? And yeah, it's definitely a lot brighter over there now. So yeah, we can start stashing our lights underground. I'm going to do the same thing over here, even though we're about to dig it up. But we'll deal with that later. And sure enough, it is bright over here. I think that's such a cool life hack. Just stash all the lighting under the floor. That way we don't have to spam it around the house. I might have to do that more often. Now we gotta work on the outside. So for now, I guess I'll throw one down here into our old charcoal pit. Then I'm just gonna run around and get some on the outside. Later on, we're gonna make this look super nice. But right now, we're just trying to make it safe. That's all that matters. And I think is very doable. And there we go. I think that everything is lit up inside of our base. And now this is entirely a safe area. Now I guess some things could climb up here, but I kind of doubt it's going to happen. And yeah, now this place is really starting to feel like a home. I'm not stuck inside, even though that's where I'm going to spend most of my time. I can even do some of our tasks outside and not have to worry. And yeah, I'm super happy with what we've achieved so far. So anyway, let's go back inside. We're going to start hunting down the materials to make a steel furnace. I should have most of the stuff. I know I have a bunch of regular fire clay just laying around. And honestly, I completely forgot what I need. I think we can make tier 3. So crushed olivine, ilmenite, bauxite, and quartz. So we definitely have quartz. There's a little bit of bauxite, a bunch of olivine, and surely I have more laying around. And this seems to be pretty much everything. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but we'll see what we can do. Oh yeah, I'm going to need to get these fired up. Maybe I can get a beehive kiln up as well. However, I'm burning up all my fire clay right now. Well, I guess we'll see. There's 2 stacks of bricks, and I feel like I need 4. Well, that's about all I can do right now. Sadly, I think that will only make about 42 bricks, and I think we need close to a stack. And it's the bauxite that's holding me back right now, so it's not like I can just go down a tier. So we're gonna have to go and get some bauxite, which is a bit unfortunate, but we'll get through it. Just gonna put everything away real quick. And I guess we'll go ahead and grab some extra food. By the way, we are burning through these crocs, but it's fine. We luckily have a ton of bread to work with. And I know that there is some bauxite over there. I think it actually might be that mountain right there. We're also going to have to crush it up. And I left my windmill back at the base. Plus, I think the crushing stuff is over there as well, like the pounders and whatnot. So what I think I need to go do is go over there, grab some bauxite, take the boat back to our old base, smash it up for a bit, then we can get this up. And honestly, on my way back, I could probably also use my beehive kill nets over there. So I think that sounds like a plan. Let's go ahead and just take our extra bed. I'm sure that will come in handy. And we're just gonna hop down real quick. There we go. And I know that we could take the boat, but I'm just gonna do this on land. And I'm gonna avoid all the portals that I see. Oh God, okay, we got a wolf. You know, I've been hearing you out here. I didn't know where you were, but there you are. Come on, can I actually get you? No, don't run away. We could get him. No! We were so close. Well, I guess he'll come back and terrorize me at some other point. Anyway, I'm gonna do this by land. We're just gonna head straight over to the bauxite that was over there. And there's the bear. I told you guys that there was a bear. I knew he was out here. Now, I got some big plans and I don't want to kill him. I did some testing on another world, and as it turns out, our animal cages can probably pick up that bear. It would be insanely difficult to do, but I think it would be awesome to capture a bear. Then I could set him up somewhere in the house. I think that sounds awesome, so we're going to try that, which means I will leave him for now. Oh, you know, I probably should have brought my prospecting pick. We could have done some more since we're out here, and I definitely didn't go as far as we're gonna go right now, so perhaps there's some sulfur over there. We're gonna have to find out eventually. Oh, here's the tractor! This is the guy that I was seeing from all the way back at my base, which we can just barely see from here. If this guy was just a little bit lower, then there'd be no shot at seeing it. But hey, sir, how do I speak to you? I just want to see who you are. Agricultural supplier, and it doesn't seem like I can trade with him. I think it's because I'm below him. Maybe if I jump up here. Sir, I just want to trade. Okay, we can just climb on top. And sir, get close. There we go. Anything to trade? I still can't do it. Okay, surely there has to be a legitimate way up. However, I don't see one, and that's a whole bear. That's a grizzly. Okay, never mind, we're walking away. I would have loved to see what he had, but I assume it's just going to be some plants and stuff. So nothing of value was lost. Yeah, we got some dangerous lands out here. We're going to have to keep our eye out. Make sure I don't get attacked by a bear. There it is. I can see it. We're getting pretty close. And look at this. We have a ton of lilies out here. That is actually insane, and I want to come back and pick all that up. But doesn't this only spawn like in a certain biome? I thought they spawned in the south, but I'm not going to complain because I really want that. We'll have to come back in the spring. Oh God, there's another bear. He's blocking my path. I think I had to go in the water. There's no way I can just walk around him right now. Ah, this sucks. I'm gonna be so cold. But it's better than facing a grizzly. Especially because I don't have my shield right now. I just stand 0 chance. No heals, nothing. But would you look at that? There is so much bauxite for us. There's even a ruin right there. If it's not in the water, then we'll check it out. Also, this might mean that we can find some fire clay around. I forgot to look for it the last time that we found bauxite, but yeah, I definitely should have. Wow, this place is super cool. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to go around, so we're gonna have to go through the water again. But here we are. We're at the bottom of the mountain, and we just gotta get up there. However, there is shale sand here. That means that there's shale around. Is that shale? I think it is. Yeah, I definitely want to grab a whole bunch at some point. I realized that I really do like shale. Probably a little bit better than slate. So I want to do some testing around with it at some point. But we grabbed a whole bunch of wood. And we'll grab some grass. We can turn that into firewood. Then we can get a fire up and going. That way I'm not freezing to death. But there we go. I'm no longer freezing. We're just going to head up. Oh, and this place is massive. There's even more on the backside. Yeah, this is going to last us forever. And it's not that far away from the base. Now, I wonder if I can find some fire clay up here. But this should be the top. And I'm just going to have a look around. Want to make sure that there's no polar bears. I don't happen to see any immediately. No fire clay either. But that would be really hard to see with the snow. What is happening there? That's either a cave or a really weird shadow bug. I'm not sure. Anyway, I think that this spot is as good as any. So I'm going to get to work. And we're just going to grab a ton of bauxite. And I certainly don't want to have to do more trips than I have to. Especially back to the old base. So I'm just going to grab a whole bunch. And I'll see you in a minute. And we're back. So I went ahead and grabbed a ton. I feel like 4 stacks should be enough, right? At least that's what I'm hoping anyway. I did spend the night here, and it's still pretty dark out. Luckily, nothing tried to eat me in my sleep. But yeah, I'm just waiting until morning. Then we're gonna head back to the boat. That way we can head back to our old base and get it all crushed up. Okay, I'd say we're about good. By the way, I love this view. I really need a mountain base at some point. I just want to live up here. The fog makes that so challenging. However, the fog doesn't seem to be all that bad in most of these mountains. I think it's because I had the max world height. And you can see it's basically only a problem all the way up there. So if I pick a mountain like that, which is still huge, but not as big as something like that, we might be able to build onto it and not be worried about the fog. But I don't know that for sure, but I just have a hunch. And perhaps we can do that at some point. But anyway, I'm going to head back home. It's going to take me quite a while. So I'll see you there, unless something interesting happens. And we're back. There's the boat down there. And, it's not doing so good, but whatever. We're going to come back to it in just a few. But I want to fill up my inventory with some stuff that I want to bring over. Like, I can get the bricks cooked while we're there. And I'm going to bring some stuff to make some more fire clay. Because I do have a bunch of crushed flint and stuff around. So we could potentially come back with the ability to make a steel furnace plus a beehive kiln. So let me gather all the stuff that's required. Okay, so I think that this is everything that I might need. Or at least I hope so anyway. We can cook up these bricks while we're there. I do have a bunch of regular fire clay bricks. We're gonna have to make some more of those as well. That way we can use it for the beehive kiln. We can grind up a ton of our bauxite. Maybe make some more calcified flint, which we already have some. Then we can turn that into some more fire clay, which we can use on all the bricks. Plus, it might be worth it to just grab a whole bunch of iron. I guess I'll just grab all of it, and we'll take the anvil. That way, I can turn it into a bunch of iron ingots while we're waiting. Then maybe I can even turn it into steel, depending on how long that we're there. Just trying to give myself busy work. Also, screw it. I'll grab the blister steel, and I'll turn that into steel ingots while we're there as well. So yeah, I think that we should have everything. I have some extra charcoal, and I think we're about set. So let's get back to the boat, and I gotta dig this ship out again, which hopefully won't be that difficult. Okay, hop back in, go, go, just stay along the right. We're doing it, it's working, and we made it out. Okay, I'm gonna head back to the base, and I'll see you there. Alright, we should be here, and yep, there is in fact land. Now, I guess I can just get off right here. I'm not going to find the normal place. It's way too dark. So anyway, I'm going to make my way back to the base, and I'll spare you guys from the night. So see you there. And we're back. Oh man, I missed this place. But don't worry, our new base is going to be even better. We just got to give it some time. This is one of the big steps to doing just that. So luckily, I did leave this behind, which is honestly perfect for us. We can go ahead and just throw in the stuff that we needed to smash, and hopefully it'll do that in a reasonable amount of time. And yeah, I'm gonna spend some time here. I'm not sure how long it's gonna take, but I'm gonna get everything smashed up, and I'm not leaving until I at least can make a steel furnace, but I'm also gonna try to shoot for a beehive kiln. So I'm gonna give you a small time lapse of this place, and I'll see you when we're done. And welcome back. So I think we've done it. I've spent a couple days here, and it hasn't been all that bad. And now we have an entire beehive kiln full with a ton of stuff that we need. As you can see, I made a ton of regular fire clay bricks, which we're going to use to make another beehive kiln, but back at our base. The fire's still going on down there. Should I be picking this up? I think it's done. Well, I guess we'll full send. But yeah, this should be everything that we need. And I can't even hold all of it. Okay, what can I get rid of? Everything seems so important. We'll take what we can, although I really want all of it. Okay, there we go. I think I'm holding all of it. And yeah, this is so many bricks. I do think that this is enough for a beehive kiln and a tier 3 steel furnace. As well as I made all the iron ingots. And I think I have some more stuff over here, but I think I have plenty on me. I don't need to worry about the bauxite. Don't need to worry about the quartz or even the olivine. The only thing I might have to worry about is the limonite, but I think what we have right now should be fine. We had even more bauxite in here. But yeah, most of the stuff I have on me right now is just gonna go into fixing them whenever we need to do that. But anyway, we're gonna head back to the boat. I think I have everything that I need. So let's get to the boat. And here we are. So let's hop in, get in the actual driver's seat, and let's head home. I think we're truly going to be able to call it home very soon. There's only a couple more steps that we need to make that truly our home. Obviously, we need the beehive kiln and the steel furnace. We're going to need to work on the cellar soon. I think we're officially in spring in like 5 days. So yeah, we're going to need that cellar immediately. We also need a windmill, which all the flax from next year is going to go directly into it. And I want to get one that's super fast. Anyway, I'll see you there. Okay, I can see our base, and we're almost there. By the way, I was looking at the map over here. You can see where the ice is, and I'm guessing that this is right out of the range. That's loaded in when we're at our base. So what I can do is I can just park over here, and ideally it shouldn't be iced in, which makes me want to move my base away from this. That way I don't freeze up the port, because I can see that being an issue in the future. But this should be about it. It is the closest I want to get. So let's turn that off, and I guess we're just going to hop in the water. Nope. We're fine? Oh, what? Dude, where did you come from? Where did a wolf come from? Okay, and he's dead. Oh no, I don't see my knife. I think my knife is at the old base. So I guess that is the last time we ever saw it. But seriously, probably not. I'm sure we'll be back there soon enough. But anyway, we're back. So let's head in. And let's start up a fire and try to warm up for a bit. And while we're doing that, we're going to start putting together some bricks. I think we need about a stack of the regular ones. And we ended up making 2. Alright, well, we have some backups, that's for sure. And we'll go ahead and make the tier 3s, which we have a little bit more than a stack. That should be pretty much all that we need. I do gotta go hammer out some trapdoors. We'll need that for the beehive kiln. However, up here, we actually do have an iron door ready for us. We got that in some ruin, and that's just gonna be perfect. So it should be safe outside right now, which means I can get to work. I think that this is gonna be the perfect place to set up. It's definitely not gonna be permanent, and we'll figure out a better solution for it later on. But for now, this will do fine. So I'm gonna get them set up, and I'll see you in a minute. And welcome back. So we did it, and we officially have a steel furnace up along with a beehive kiln. These 2 things are going to be massive for living here. I do have to go ahead and make a ton of pottery, so that's another reason why I wanted this so bad. I want to replace everything that I didn't bring over. Plus, I really do like the planters, and I want to be making a ton of those. I actually have specific areas that I want them, like one right here and right here. Right next to the door would be awesome. So yeah, we need to get back into pottery. Anyway, I'm super happy that we got this up. Now all that we really need is a windmill. And of course the cellar. Then this will be a true home. And we'll finally be ready to get some awesome builds going. So yeah, guys, I do gotta call it here. But as you can see, a lot happened today. And this was just the start of it. Hopefully tomorrow we can get that cellar up. And maybe even start on the dock or something. So thank you so much for joining. And I'll see you next time.